Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, konnichiwa, ciao, bonjour, guten morgen, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? It's Ken at 10. I hope you're well. If you haven't joined us before, we are James Alexander Estate Agents. My name is Ken Hume, hence Ken at 10. And we broadcast daily, talk about all things property, the weather, general politics, whatever comes to mind, really. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. If you're joining us once more, then thanks very much for joining us once more. And, when we're talking, we look at all things property. We're estate agents at the coalface, so to speak. And we broadcast daily about what's going on with the market locally and nationally, look at the national headlines, then look at the local picture as well. We're in SW60 in an area called Norbury, which is between Streatham and Croydon. And we're a Zone 3 commuter area, so probably representative of a lot of commuter towns on the outskirts of London, which benefit from people looking to commute into town and a little bit better prices because we're that little bit further out. One of the best value Zone 3 areas in London, in my view. So let's look at the news today, see what's going on around here. First thing is Rightmove. Analysis of 1.6 million listings shows a big return to normality. This is something we've been hoping for a while here in Norbury. And certainly I know lots of my smaller city centre type locations are thinking of this as well. And over 1.6 million listings, Rightmove shows a big return to normality and a demand for smaller city centre properties and rising demand with that, with rural demand dropping. So I know you rural guys have been the king for a while now, but it's nice to see as the pandemic releases us and the vaccine starts to work successfully across the UK. So London is opening up, and with London opening up, being the biggest employer of people in the country, so the jobs open up and so people need to commute back in. And so they look for housing in and around the outskirts of London, which is great news for us and just good news to see things going back to a sort of semblance of normality, really, isn't it? What are you doing on your holidays then? Have you decided you're going to go, you're going to stay? Traffic light system, green, amber, it's all very confusing, isn't it? Our advice is stay at home. Absolutely stay at home this year. What's the point? You can go next year. If there's even a small risk, why take it? I'd say just carry on as you are and, let's enjoy the UK this year and worry about going away abroad next year. I know you miss the sunshine and I know the UK is not great for that. We can never bank on it, can we? But there is fun stuff you can do here. Stay here. Enjoy the UK for a change. Lots of nice things you can do. And you know what else I'll do? Keep the money in the UK as well. Get some money circulating here instead of abroad. Why not? So, house prices, as usual, you've got some more house price headline. This time the ONS are recording a price rise of 10.2% to March 2021. And it's massive, isn't it? 10.2%. Obviously, London's been the poor relation of many of the rural and areas around the country. And it's nice to see that there's a rising demand coming back to us here as well. That's great news. And the other thing is Hong Kong nationals. I've mentioned this before. We've seen the number of Hong Kong nationals now buying in the UK quadruple from the investment point of view. And it's not just investment, they're actually migrating over here, and it's a great thing for the UK. Many professional, highly qualified people coming into the UK with money and ready to invest in their new homes right here in the UK. We've already sold one property to a Hong Kong national. We expect it's the start of a bit of a wave, and we look forward to accommodating those people as they come over. And very good news for underpinning the market, especially in the wake of the stamp duty deadline. Where are we on stamp duty deadlines? Well, lots of pressure building, as you can imagine. Solicitors still overwhelmed and struggling to cope in many cases. Many performing quite poorly, many doing really well in difficult circumstances. So it's a really mixed bag. In terms of time left, 42 days now before the June stamp duty deadline. And that's a saving of £15,000. So you can imagine the pressure that's caused. The irony is many people have been racing to get to this deadline, and prices have risen so fast that discounts all of that 15,000 and some, probably double or treble in many cases. So the cost saving that was there isn't anymore. But we're hopeful that the market just calms down a bit and doesn't drop off dramatically, doesn't rise dramatically. People think agents all want, massive euphoric house price rises, but I don't. What I'd like to see is stability, and stability with confidence. So slightly rising market brings confidence and lets people feel that they're secure in investing in the UK property, and that they can lock something down now, lock their future down, and know that in the medium to long term, it'll be a winner. And for me, that's the thing where a lot of people lose sight of what property is about. You know, people look at property and they think it's about, money. How quickly can I make money? And most investors that I know, sensible investors, actually look at the medium to long game. They don't look at the short game. They buy properties, they invest in them, they sit on them, they wait, they rent them out. Why? Because it's a long game. Looking for the short-term win, it's always going to be really tricky, because who wants to sell their property for less than it's worth? Who's going to do that? In a rising market, yes, there are times when you can catch property at one level, it goes under offer, time goes by, and there's an increase in the price over that period. But of course, you always risk the market dropping off again, especially now with the June deadline approaching so quickly. So my advice, if you're looking at property as an investment, look at it medium to long term, because if it's a family home, then do it when it's right for you, not when it seems financially the right thing to do, but when it's the right thing for you and your family to do. Because in the medium to long term, we know house prices will win, because they tend to link to inflation. And of course, huge inflationary pressures at the moment. And we've already seen massive government support through various schemes, including the first time buyer scheme, which will still be there long after the first deadline's passed. So really interesting to see what happens. Of course, we'll advise you what's happening here on the ground. What we're finding right now is that a lack of new instructions coming through. Most people that were looking to take advantage of the deadline have already done so. So not enough new property coming onto the market. The property that's under offer had a couple of fall throughs, which is sad, but it's going to happen from time to time, surveys, things like that. They've come back onto the market and they're receiving massive uptake already in terms of viewings, and we're expecting overbids on many of those. And that's kind of the way it's going right now. So still really busy. Lettings wise, it's opening up a bit. People are starting to come back. They're starting to rent again. It's not as busy as we like to be, but it's getting there. So I hope you're well, looking after your family and friends. Hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be back same time tomorrow with another update for you. Until then, keep well.
Because I'm now investor,